Hello there everybody, so we're getting started on a new month. So this is my first time doing a monthly spread in this new journal I've been doing. So I think we're gonna do it like same and different because I've been adding a lot more art elements, you could say, and having a lot of fun with that. So, but then also this notebook isn't as big, so we don't have as much space. But I think that's really going to work out because I feel like I was trying to fill the pages in my other notebook with things that just I didn't really care so much about. So what we're going to do on this side here, I used to do decks I want to use, my decks for monthly medicine, and then my card for the month, and then this whole page would be for the animal gnosis practice I do as part of Cosmic Creepers Patreon, and we're gonna keep that. I like having the page for the animal gnosis, but I'm not gonna do the decks I want to use because my purpose in doing that was to have something to refer back to. If I just couldn't pick out decks for the day, I could see like, oh, these are ones that I really wanted to like put some more time into. But I never went back to this page. And I don't really feel like I get stuck because I have my shelves where I rotate the decks out based on what I want to use. So there wasn't really a point in recording that because I do pictures of my readings every morning, so I can see what I'm using. Anyways, so I'm going to do my decks I want to use for monthly medicine. It's really been working for me to do a general selection based on the theme for the month instead of specifically picking for each week and then picking for each week as I go. So we're going to do that. And then my card for the month. So I think that's going to be the perfect amount of space for what we've got here. Yeah, so let's get started. I'm just taking you along the whole shebang. I'm hoping that you like that, even if it gets a little long. I've got here I got another reusable sticker book on Amazon. This one's a bit bigger, and I'm keeping my clear stamps on in this book. And it's working. I like it. Probably not as well as keeping them. I saw it on, Dawn Michelle has a recipe book, I want to say, that she keeps all of these on the pages they come on, so that way you can kind of see what they are, because they give it that background. But basically, my ones in the front here, I didn't realize that clear stamps peeled off their pages. I thought you had to just like cut them off and figure it out. Yeah, so learned from Dawn Michelle's video, whatever it was that I was watching. I watched her peel this off the clear plastic and I was like, oh my god. Because I did this whole project where I cut these off, like out of the sheet and glued them on these like wood pieces. And I just was like, man, I can't believe everyone like goes through all this effort. That's fascinating. They don't. They just understand how to use them. So here we are. So basically these already were, the back sheets were already cut up, so we're just rolling with it. What do we want to use though? I think I like the idea of using, well, no, we're not going to use the candles because I've got little ghosts to use, which are fun. Let's go to the Halloween. I think I want to take this. This is a little haunted house. I haven't used that yet. Yeah, I think that'd be fun because this month's monthly medicine is a ghost story theme. So I think having this little haunted house would be really fun. The nice thing about this book, though, is it came with two of these pocket inserts, so I can keep all of the stamp plates, whatever they're called, on there. Alright, so I want to do this, and then I'm going to do the little ghosts too. But the little ghosts I kind of fill in with afterwards. I think that's a better idea, to do it that way. Okay. Where do I want this to go? Probably just in this corner, right? Yeah, I think that'll be fun. The worst thing in the whole world, the drama, to me is when the stamp doesn't come out right. Ooh, isn't that the worst? Oh, but that was almost perfection, but you know what? Good enough. I don't mind if it's, you know, a little distressed looking. That's okay. But when it, like, half the stamp just doesn't come out, oh, does that bother me? Okay. So let's put that back where I found it. What else do we have in this little Halloween set I got? Oh, we got, wait, that could be fun. Little gravestone. Well, I'm not going to fill up the whole page and then run out of space to write. So we will come back to that, I think. Yeah. I think it could be fun too, though, to use one of these. I got these frame ones and put my card of the month kind of over a frame. I think that could look pretty cool, but I should get my title on here first. What do I want to use? I need my markers. If you couldn't already tell, we're going for a spooky spread vibe here. So I think we're going to use a dark gray to write October. Or do I want to use my stamps? Because that could look cool. Because the thing too is, like, with this little detail I've got at the top, I don't have the whole, like, I can't write all the way across. So I think we're actually going to do stamps. Which reminds me, I've been meaning to look for another font set. So I should do that. But I've got the, like, classic kind of typewriter set here. Do I want to use, so I've got the black, but I've also got gray. Eek. I think the gray will be too light for my purposes here, though. So let's do the black. Yeah, I think that'll be cool. Right. This is so satisfying to do. Every time. No, wrong letter. Where is T? There it is. Oh, suddenly getting nervous. I just have forgotten how to spell. But no, we're on the right track. October. I got this. I don't think October. All of a sudden, this word looks so weird, the way it's spelled. I don't think I'm gonna washi tape tab right now either, like I used to do, because I've got the ribbon bookmark, so I can always find my place. But I don't know though, actually, because it could be still nice to have easy access to these monthly spreads, so I kind of take that back. I think we are going to do that. And actually, I am pleased. I'm loving how this is looking. I think that's kind of cool. And then maybe what I will do is, once that ink is dried, oh, I should definitely experiment on a different piece of paper, but go over with one of my, I've got like a light gray highlighter. I think that could be really cool to do. So let's stamp onto a random piece of paper and test that won't smear it even when it's dry, because I feel like it could. Okay, October. Fun. I like how that turned out. Alright, now I've also got this sticker I really want to use. you can't, oh my gosh, the light is blinding me. He's like a black cat with a pumpkin. Do I want to get that like all the way up here? Or do I want to save this sticker and maybe stick with like a black and white vibe? Because I've got a bunch of these little stickers from Paper Hunt, and I'm kind of feeling like that could be the vibe. Yeah, I think I'm liking that idea a lot better, actually. So I think what we're gonna do is let's put a little cauldron up at the top here. How cute! Yes. Oh yeah, I like this. And then we can, I've got the little mini ghosts I could put around it. Amazing. Love that. Okay. So now let's I kind of actually think I want to still use these letter stamps. Apologies. I feel like maybe I will pause while I do the next lettering, or you're going to be just watching me do this forever. Because I think I want to, in all the lowercase, do like monthly medicine and then card of the month. So I will pause and do that stamping and then be back to write out what we're doing. Okay, yes, that is super fun. I like how that turned out. So now we are gonna write out the decks that we kind of want to use, which I haven't really thought about, but this month's theme is ghost stories, and it's real like, it's story driven, which I'm so excited about. So we kind of, the suggestion was that we don't really like read ahead in the story. There's the cutest squirrel outside the window. I really should move my filming spot away from the window, because I feel like I do this every time where I'm like, ooh, look at that, but he's really being cute. So we were encouraged to not read ahead, but given the theme, I think I can kind of get a good list going without really like looking into that. So I think we're gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're gonna try to keep it just 5 lines down, I think. We'll do tarot and then oracle. A fly. Get out of here, fly. Ooh. Do we want to use little stars as bullet points? Would that be fun? Or do I do the ghosts? No, the ghosts are too big. But I do have, randomly I found just one of these little like wood ones, which I want to get more of these because for stuff like this, it's so fun. We're going to do that. We're going to use star bullet points. Okay. Can you tell? I'm really enjoying stamping. So we're definitely going to do the ghosts and spirits tarot. These might still be a little too big, but that's okay. It's fun. We're going to do the Dark Mansion. Would definitely be good. Let's think. We're doing ghost stories. What other ghost? I've got the Boo Tarot, but I don't think that's really the direction I want to go with that. Ooh, I think the Gothic Tarot really fits the ghost feel, even though it's kind of supposed to be vampires. The setting is a cemetery in most of the art. So we're gonna do that. We'll do we're gonna do Madame Lydia. I think that would be a really good one for this. And then probably keep it there. Oh no. Do we want to do the dark, what is it called? Dark Forest? We're just gonna list this as Madame Lydia. What is that called? The Dark Forest Tarot? Questioning. I know, dark wood. Something didn't sound right about that. Okay. Dark Wood Tarot. I think actually we're gonna put that in here too. Now, another reason that I'm kind of thinking, especially for this month, I didn't want a separate, like, decks I want to use section is because we've got a spooky themed monthly medicine, and I will be pretty exclusively using my spooky season deck, so there's gonna be a lot of crossover anyway. Alright, we're gonna use dark wood. So now let's think about our oracles. What oracles do I want to use? What seems kind of ghostly? Perhaps, ooh, I know. Definitely the, I don't really know, like vampire? I feel like you shouldn't say vampire is not pronounced, like just vampire. Lay vampire. Definitely not correct, but I don't really know what is correct, so, okay. We're just gonna roll with it. Maybe Southern Gothic. But it doesn't really like a ghost one. Oh, duh, Beloved Dead. We're gonna do Beloved Dead, and then for sure gonna do the Embroidered Graveyard, and then on the topic of Graveyard, we will do the Graven Images Oracle. Let's, just for making it even, maybe we will put Southern Gothic. Do I have others that look a little bit more ghostly, though? I do think, let's see these tarot. I think maybe we're going to do Mystic Misfits. Yeah, that seems a little bit more ghostly to me. Cool. Okay, so then how do we want to break up these sections? What do we want to do there? Let's think. What would be fun? What would be fun to do? There's my candle stamps where it's like as tall as they are, because that could be really cool looking. But alas, they're quite tall. Do I care though? Do I care if they're tall? Because I could do like a line of candles. I don't think that'd be too tall. I think that'd leave enough space. Did we do it? Let's see. How many spaces would that take up? Oh no, that's taller than I thought. Okay, scratch that. How about this candle though? This is a different candle. No. Maybe we do stickers. Ooh. Because I've got a bunch of these little stickers, but then I'm going to use them all up. The hardships, I tell ya. How big are the ghosts? The ghosts are pretty small. How many spaces would that take up? Is that gonna be like obnoxious though? I feel like I could end up not liking that. Maybe I should just keep it simple and just start doing the wording. Yeah, we're gonna do that. Okay, so I'm gonna do the next lettering for my card of the month, and I'll be back. Okay, there is that. I love how that looks. And I tested my tester stamp, and I think highlighting should be fine. So we're going to do that. I'm going to leave this one alone for now, but I think I'm going to use the gray to just put a little highlight. Oh yeah, I love that. Cool, cool, cool. Okay. So for my card of the month, for the last 2 months I've been using the Wild Unknown Archetypes, but this month I want to use the Alchemy. Because I've just been getting a lot of readings lately that point to Alchemy, so I just thought, why not? But I really do like using these Wild Unknown decks as a card of the month. It's been really nice. So let's pull my card for the month, why don't we? Okay. Ooh, we got glass. That's neat. Okay, so before I get into that, let's kind of get the pictures going, and I'll show you how to do that, because also, at the same time, just so I can get it all on one piece of paper, we'll have a picture of that, and then our animal for the month is Vulture, which I'm so excited about. So I'm going to use these two cards from Woodland Wardens and Cottage Witch. I think this was in the general expansion, but I forget now. So I'm going to take pictures of these to use over there as well. And actually, I'm kind of wondering, I feel like my Coastal Curiosities has a cool card with a vulture, but now I'm not certain. So let's just quickly take a scan through, because I feel like I had like the sticker or something. I don't know. Could be making this. Oh no, there it is. Yeah. So, ooh, I kind of want a picture of that too. I think that'll also look really cool. So I'll show you what I do. I'll show you with this card, and then I will finish up the rest. So, what I do, I take my phone, get a picture of it, of the card, I should say. Okay, can you see my phone? Oh, perfect. And so then there's this new feature, well, not, it's newer or just new to me, who knows. You hold down and it creates a sticker for you. So then I click share. Did I get it? Sometimes I click outside of it by accident. Come on. There we go. Share, save image, and then I go to, I've got just like an ongoing Google Doc. So this was my cards from this morning. So let's just get rid of those. I add in my latest picture, and then on the phone you have to do like the print layout, so then I just shrink it down to whatever size I want, which we don't need it very big. So that's what I do. So I'm gonna get the rest of my images and I'll show you what the printout looks like after, but I like doing this. It's really fun. I just printed onto regular sticker paper pretty much. Okay, so I got my cards printed here. While I was waiting, I went ahead and stamped over here as well. So now I'm just going to cut these out. Something else I really like about my new printer is that it is one of those that like feeds from the back instead of, so like you put it in like this and it feeds forward rather than doing one of these where it has like the drawer you put it in, because I find or I found, I guess I should say, with my other printer that had the little like drawer you put the paper in, I really couldn't completely use up the sticker paper because it got to a point where it would just jam it if it was getting too small, or like it wouldn't pick it up. So with these, like I'll cut off this and just put in this sheet and it'll work. So I really get to use up all of the paper, which I enjoy. It's a definite bonus there. I'm so excited about this month being Vulture. What a great animal to get into for October. I love all the different themes that kind of come up with the animals every month too, and like getting to see everyone's different experiences. Just neat. Alright, we'll save that paper for later. So I think I do want to do that frame idea. Where did I put my stamps though? Aha! Okay. So, what frame do I want to use here? I think, so it's going to be like a layered look. So I kind of think this one will be the best for my purposes here. Does this work? Yeah, perfect. Okay. Now, do I still want to do black, or do I want to do... No, I think we're going to do black, and then the little ghosts in gray are kind of be the highlights. I think that'll look really cool. Okay. So we're going to put the card over here. Perfect. Ooh, satisfying. Okay. Okay. Let's leave these stamps out because I'm having fun, if you couldn't tell, with the stamps. Yes, perfect. That's exactly what I was envisioning. Awesome. Yeah, cool. All right, that's exciting. So let's take a look at the book. So, we got 30. $147. Okay, so we've got glass transmits a sacred exchange between the alchemist and their work. Through the glass vessel, the alchemist sees their work, and the work sees the alchemist. What was once clouded in confusion becomes focused. What was once veiled becomes obvious. How are you currently seeing the world? What is your perspective? The glass card can be thought of as the gift of true perception. With it, you naturally focus on what is most central in your life. All else falls to the periphery. The next right action becomes clear. Glass is fragile by nature and requires regular cleaning, so find daily practices that align your vision to what is true. It's easy to slip into an old mode of seeing, particularly someone else's, so hold steady to your alchemical lens. Their power is mighty. Oh, that's so neat. Okay, so let's see. I like to write down some key points from the readings. So let's see, we're gonna say I like the line of the gift of true perception. I like some of the questions brought up too. How are you currently seeing the world? Oh, that's my printer. Sorry. Oh my gosh, that noise. Let's see. Naturally focus on what is most central in your life. And the last thing I think I'm going to put for now is find daily practices that align your vision to what is true. That's a really Ooh, I like this line on the side too. Glass is a clear barrier between the observer and the observed. That's neat. Cool. All right. That's a really interesting card. I'm glad I pulled out this deck for the month. So this card will now sit out on my desk to ponder for the month. Now let's do some more decorating because that's fun. I think we're gonna do my paper haunt washi along the bottom since we've got that extra space left. I like doing the washi on the bottom. It's then just looks fun. I'm gonna say that's enough. We'll find out. Ooh, that's too much actually. Oops. Alright, that's right. Okay. Perfect. Fun. Love it. Now, am I gonna go making it way too busy adding the ghosts? It's already has that ship sailed? It already is kind of busy looking, isn't it? But the ghosts are so fun. We're gonna do them. So I like doing it with the gray. This is the Memento ink in London Fog, if you're curious. I've been putting these ghosts like in the spaces of so many of my readings the past few days because look how fun they are. It's just the perfect size to fill small spaces if you want to. I like doing this with the stars too that I used for the dots here, the bullets. Okay, we're gonna do one more over here and call it a day on these pages. Perfect. Okay, yeah, I love how this turned out. This is so fun. Oh, I need to, hold on, highlight though. And then let's do that over here as well. We're gonna leave the October alone, but otherwise, love that. So let's get these guys stuck on. I think I want to do a texture stamp though. I feel like this part of the video is gonna be so much longer than usual, but I hope you're all just having fun with me, because I am having loads of fun. Let's do this guy. We'll do like a strip. Let's see, if we do like a strip of this texture, kind of like that, we could stick these kind of along it. Yeah, that'll work. I like it. Now we're gonna need the big stamp pad for this. Okay. And I think we're gonna do I want to do gray or the black? I think we're gonna stick with the black. And then I won't add the like ghost details over here, because this one I kind of fill out throughout the month. Usually. Okay. I think this kind of is going to be one that shows up pretty light anyway. Fun. Yeah, that came out cool. Okay. So let's get our cards on, and then I think, because I haven't read through Tegan's Patreon post yet, and we've been doing this for a while, so I think I'm gonna stick these stickers on and leave it here for the day. But I'm pleased with how this has turned out. Something about just having the smaller space of this notebook is just really doing it for me. Come on, sticker. Sometimes I just cannot. Get the backs of these off. Alright, got it. Alright, so here's the spread so far. I will attempt to keep you all updated on how this gets filled in and looks when that's all done, but I'm having so much fun. Let me know if you are into this kind of like, I don't know, style of journaling, whatever you would call it. If you've got some favorite things you like to use, I don't know, just curious because I'm having fun. But yeah, I'm gonna leave that there for the day today, I think, and yeah, that's that. Alrighty, I'll see you in whatever the heck comes up next. Hello, I'm here to share the beginning of my monthly medicine journal for the month. Ooh, broken nail. So I've started journaling in a similar way as to how I'm journaling for my daily polls. Using this notebook I had already. I don't really know what I think I actually was, I don't really know what I was using this notebook for, but regardless, I didn't get very far into it, so now we are switching it over to monthly medicine. Oh, I skipped a page. How horrendous. Or is that on purpose? No, I did. I skipped a page. Eek. Don't you hate that? Anyways, okay, so here is I did a little cover page. I know. Cutie. So this is all of our weekly themes in these. I wanted to look very like Haunted Mansion because our theme this month is ghost stories. How fun is that? Did I show this whole, wait a second. Did I show myself doing this? I might have. Did I? Well, here it is again if I did, just in case. Just in case! But I love how that turned out. It's so fun. I love these little ghost stamps too. They've been my obsession this month. But anyway, our first week theme is Graveyard Gate. So this is another like story-driven month, which is so exciting. So Dawn Michelle wrote the medicine pages in such a way that it's like leading us through the story. So we start out at the Graveyard Gate, which is representing this real liminal space. So I used for this, my starting oracle card, I used the Graven Images Oracle, which I have been loving. It's so funny, I've had this deck for quite some time now and just got it and then put it away and never, like, just didn't use it. I don't know, something about it, I was like, nope. And I think it needed to be the right time of year for it, because now I am obsessed. I'm obsessed with it. What card did I get? I got the Lamb card for the first question, which was what was drawing us to this liminal space. And this was a really interesting pull to get because it's had a couple different meanings there was one about like kind of martyrdom, self-sacrifice. When you think about lambs, or like when I think about lambs, I think of kind of the idea of like sheep being herded. So like how this brought up for me this kind of I'm reading my own journal. As it brought up themes for me of like really just the ways I try to fit in and like why am I doing that? For what? For what? You know, just these things where it's like you just get so trained during like childhood and especially teenagehood of wanting to fit in, and it's hard to let go of that. And I find myself still having these moments of like just wanting to fit in. So that is what the sheep was bringing up for me in this liminal space. And then the tarot I paired with it was the Gothic Tarot, and I love these two together. What a good pairing. I brought this out kind of just because it also is very much set in a graveyard. And since we were at the Graveyard Gate, I wanted to just match that thematically, but I really, like, I love how they read together. I loved how they looked together. It just was so good. I love this tarot. I love this tarot. I just really do. Something about it. It's very much, I don't know. It is what it's a Gothic graveyard. What is there not to love about that? So this I used for the tarot pulls for Wednesday and Friday, which was really just getting more into like what are we exploring in this liminal space. And this really brought up kind of needing some mindset changes, being careful about the things I commit myself to, really like just not overcommitting myself so that there is time to work through some of these things. Because I think sometimes a lot of my problem is just like I avoid making time for it, you know? So that is what I used for the monthly medicine in the first week. And we are actually, I'm a little late on filming this, although why do I even say that? Time is not even relevant in these videos. I should just not say it, and then you'll all be like, oh my gosh, she just was so on it all month. Just like always. Anyway, but do I want to... No, I'm going to let the week finish out before I talk about the cards I'm using for the next week. Because you never know, maybe I'll just throw in a wild card tomorrow. I don't know. Who's to say? But I'm very much in the Halloween spirit, as you can tell. I got my Halloween jammies. I got my mug. I'm ready to rumble. I'm feeling chatty today. I don't think I have anything else to share, though. Oh, other than a book, I've really been loving. I got this in last week, the Book of Ancestors. This is new from Claire Goodchild. I don't have her book of seances, but I keep looking at it. I've been looking at it, but I got the Book of Ancestors because I'm always interested in ancestor work, and I am like a quarter of a way through it and already game changing. I've been really loving this, and starting to kind of piece together my own, like, a more solid ancestor practice. So that's what I've been up to with that. Other than that, I think that is it for right now. So see you in the next thing I decide to talk about. Hello, currently on the floor. Excuse the background noise if you can hear that. That is our air purifier going because I blew out a candle. It is sensitive. It's doing its job, so no complaints. But anyway, I got some new stationery in today, and there's a little bit more coming tomorrow, but I have gotten into the world of, how would you call it? Kind of like art journaling, I guess? That's what I've been calling it. So seeing like what other people are doing, particularly on TikTok. I didn't know there was a whole, I should assume there's a corner of the internet on every platform for everything, but I just kind of got into that territory, so seeing some like the tools people are using, that's more so what's coming tomorrow. But I don't know, I've gotten some things recently, including, I want to show this pen I got off Amazon. It's a dried-in medium nib pen, and this, Amazon recently had they did like these, it wasn't like Prime Day because that's in the summer, but they basically did another version of that in October. Just probably a marketing, I mean, definitely, what am I saying? Probably a marketing thing. But this pen usually is $24.95 or something. I got it for $8. $8! So I was like, I don't know, I've heard of this brand before, and I just, for $8 I have to try it. And to tell you, it is probably my favorite pen I have right now. First of all, it's like the perfect weightiness, and also listen to this. It's got that satisfying, like, weighted click. Such a good one. And honestly, if like I could have experienced this pen without buying it or something, I still would say like $24.95 is an amazing price for it. So, like, I would believe it's way more expensive. What else do I have going on? Oh, so inspired by the video Thea recently put out about her journaling things. She put out like notebooks and like pens and ink and stuff. I have had, maybe I should get it. I have an ink swatch piece of paper going. I've had this going since I've gotten into this realm, and I love this paper. It's just like a piece of watercolor paper I ripped out of a book. But as you can see, I'm running out of space, and I was kind of like, well, what do I do? I guess I'll have to start a second sheet. And to tell you, it never occurred to me until I watched Thea's video and she showed hers to just get a notebook to dedicate to this. Because so what I do is I get my ink from Goulet Pens, and I do not buy or I should say I have not gotten any full-size bottles yet, because with Goulet you can get sample sizes, and I'm not prepared, as you could tell. I was excited because these packages just came in. But let me go get my samples. They're over there. Okay, so this is what I've got my little ink samples in. So you can get these, this is how they come, in these little vials, and these each, I would say, have like 2 refills in them, but they're all like pretty much under $3, and you can get pretty, like any kind of ink that they're selling, they get all different sorts of brands on there. You can try the ink. So for me, with my little goblin ADHD brain, who, like, I love changing things up, this has been amazing. So I haven't bought a full-size one yet because I just kind of, I don't know. I always want to try new colors. So like, there's a few that I'm like, okay, I love this color, so I will eventually get the full size. Or maybe if there was ever, like Ferris Wheel Press puts out limited edition colors in these beautiful bottles, I might consider that, but it'd be kind of like a decor piece to me as well, since it would take me a while to get through that bottle. So this method has been perfect. I get so many samples, I feel like I spend like $20 at a time kind of thing and get so many different colors. So having a notebook dedicated to it made sense to me because I'm gonna keep trying. Of course, they're always coming out with new colors. I'm gonna keep trying them in this way. So here's what I've got going. This is what's in my collection of pens right now. Now, this one, Noodler's Pecan, however you want to say that. I love this color. Like, how pretty. How pretty is that one? This is the one right now that I could see myself getting a full-size bottle of it. Now, I do have, I've got a full size of brown that came, it was like, I got it for free from Goulet for some deal they were having. And then I got a 3-pack of the Diamine inks off Amazon, but they're like the smaller bottles. So I've got Writer's Blood, which, I mean, I'd want a big bottle of that too, because I do love that one. The green, black, and then, I don't know, maybe there's like a brown over there, not super sure. But that was also like, you know, an inexpensive way to do it. I like those inks I'm putting on. Goulet sends these stickers in your orders, and I had another cute little hamster one, and I don't know where that guy went, so this will be filled with my collection of Goulet stickers as they come. But yes, excited about that. And I'll probably just fold this up and put it inside because obviously I've got a lot of inks I tried that will not be in this. So actually, I'm going to do that now. So I still have all of these inks. I have not gone through for like a second refill of any of these. So I'll just kind of slowly do that to get them into there. Anyways, so let's look at the thing that's not in packaging right now. Can we just take a moment for this notebook? This is a composition notebook, so it was fairly inexpensive. It's a soft cover, and I wanted a notebook to specifically do kind of like my shadow work ancestral readings in for the dark half of the year. Because that's starting now is really when I start focusing on that work again. And I wanted a notebook to dedicate to that. So this is what that's gonna be, and like how perfect is that? Because I've been doing a lot of ancestral work lately, which I do think, actually by the time you see this there may already be a video up. I want to do a video on it because I've been really enjoying it. Now what is this? Why do I feel like now this isn't something that... Wait, this is not. I forgot I got this. This is not at all stationery. But shall we just open it together anyway? Because what's going on with this? This seems nonsensical, the way this is packaged. Wow. So, I'm having a big Halloween party for the kids. The last Saturday of October, which is coming, it's a week away now. And so I realized, like, well, I need to wear a costume. How crazy would that be if I did not have a costume? So I've already got, like, bits and pieces that'll work. And I wanted to keep it simple for something that I can, like, reuse in a pinch, you know, whenever I need a costume. So I was like, okay, well, everyone needs a witch's hat, right? But I've got a big head, so I didn't want to get a hat and risk it. Oh, wait, this is so cute. Let's try it on. So I opted for, it's a little wonky right now. A headband! Oh, it's so cute. My little witch's hat. Because this, I was like, alright, as long as the headband fits, we're fine, because I really have, me and hats, I tell ya. I don't really like to wear them regardless. Even a headband, I'm like, I will keep it on for however long I need to, and then it's coming off, because I don't like things on my head. But I also have a big head, so hats tend to not really fit. So that's, okay. That was a surprise unboxing. So then the other thing that came in today is a set of washi. It is the Black and White Poet Society. This is from Amazon as well. Ooh, which I really like Amazon for like big sets of washi like this. So look at this. Ooh, it's so good. So I have, oh, we got surprise stickers. That's always exciting. So I've been very heavily, of course, using my Halloween washi set all this month. But November for me is usually a heavy focus on ancestral work. The decks I tend to work with have a very much like a vintage vibe. Like that's just how November feels to me. So I wanted to get some washi that had that vintage feel, but more so like just darker, because I've got like kind of garden themed vintage, but I wanted this kind of like darker vibe. So that's exciting. Ooh, and the stickers, that is extra exciting. All right, the last thing I was gonna show, oh, so the other thing I'm really into is this kind of like scrapbook paper. See, it's like, it's almost like translucent. It came in a set I got a bit ago, and I just kind of put it to the side and was like, I'm not gonna use that. But then, again, from watching all these other people like doing their journaling, I saw them using this, and it looks so cool. So now I'm really excited about it. And so the set I got wasn't like, you know, purely a paper set. I got it for the stickers, and this kind of was a bonus. So I've just got like a few sheets here. So I have more of that coming tomorrow. I'm so excited about it. And which I think actually that's all that's coming tomorrow. But I've got in this little pouch. Exciting. Okay, I need to figure out where I left off with sharing my monthly medicine cards. I think I did last week, but I can't remember. So I'm gonna check that and then I'll be back. It's now the next day. I got very sidetracked, obviously, considering the last clip I filmed yesterday morning. But I started many exciting things, which did I... Oh, I do have them. No? No. Do I go get it? Yeah, hold on. Okay, so I spent most of yesterday doing like a fall cleanup. Oh, my battery's gonna die. Darn. Let's... Get it together, me. Come on. Hold on. Okay, hopefully that works okay. So I was kind of cleaning up the yard yesterday, doing like a fall cleanup. So I did like a final lawn mow, and then I'm pretty sure I showed it here, but we had a literal milkweed forest, which is so beautiful. I love it so much. But when they die away for the fall, they look like big, scary stalks. So, and also, with that, some other things kind of like grew in between that we don't want, like these invasive vines and stuff. So I had to cut all those down so that I could get to everything. And we have a project we're gonna do, which does involve controlling the milkweed a little bit more, because of course I want it because the butterflies, but it really does grow everywhere in our yard, and it makes it hard to manage the invasive stuff. So I also got some seeds for, so I saved a bunch of milkweed seeds so I can kind of intentionally plant. And I'm gonna have a butterfly garden, so I have that. And then I bought some butterfly weed seeds, which kind of completes the cycle, because the caterpillars eat the milkweed leaves, and so adult monarchs lay their eggs there, but the adult monarchs won't really go for that kind of thing, but butterfly weed is what the adult monarchs will eat, so then I'll have something for the adults that come to lay eggs, but also once the caterpillars hatch from their cocoon into butterflies, they'll have that plant as well. So that's the plan there. Anyway, so I spent a long time doing that, but the other thing is I'm planning a new garden, and here's my plan for it. So I started kind of clearing for this as well, to have right outside my window here. And it is going to be a goddess garden. So it's going to be a circular garden with my bird bath not in the center but kind of to the back. And my goal was to have plants that corresponded with my new oracle, which I also just put out a little teaser for yesterday. I'm so excited about it, but this is the Divine Ephemera Oracle. So I picked out some goddesses from here. This has both gods and goddesses, but I specifically wanted a goddess garden. And so made the plan around that. So I already do have some bulbs for fall planting, so I'm gonna have some tulips. The lighting today is not good, so sorry, so I'm not even gonna attempt that, but I'm really excited about that. So my goal also was to have, to plant things where I'm going to have flowers in that garden all season. So we're starting out with some snowdrops and tulips that will go into, what else we have? What else is an early spring? I think the poppies are going into some bluebells and daisies, and I've got marigolds, which tend to kind of bloom all season, which I love, and ranunculus, and we've got some primrose in there, zinnias, which I love, so the zinnias are kind of more like late summer, and some dahlias. That's the rough plan. Most of this I already have. The only thing I don't have is the dahlias, so that'll be like a, if I happen upon that. Exciting. So anyway, back to the original point. I totally only showed my first week so far. So I missed the week in between for my monthly medicine. So we'll start with my week 2, then I'll show what I did last week. So week 2 we had the restless spirits. So the part of this story was we kind of happen upon a spirit in the graveyard who needs our assistance. So I used the Embroidered Graveyard Oracle, and I got this card which says Beauty, which is Medusa on this card. So that was really, really cool to pull because it was like my spirit for the week was Medusa. And the topics that this kind of brought up was just preoccupation with physical appearance, beauty, which very timely. I feel like this is something that I've always had a bit of a thing around. I think, just growing up female, assigned female at birth, I think we all kind of deal with that. I think everyone deals with that, but, I think specifically there's that pressure. But this was very timely because we've been doing a lot of stuff for the wedding, which is just about a year from now, and it was really nice to have this archetype to work with as a reminder of, like, please don't, don't obsess over, these weird things. It's just not worth the time of day. And so the tarot I paired with that was the Madame Lydia Wilhemina, which I loved how these paired. And I kind of liked the ghostliness of this deck, but also like with these human forms, because it kind of felt like this reminder throughout the week of just the vessel. It's all temporary. It's not worth obsessing over these little things that just don't end up mattering, you know? So really enjoyed that, and it was a good week, good reflection. And so this past week was Tombstone. So it was, the theme of the week was something that we haven't laid to rest that we should have by now, and my oracle I used was the Vintage Wisdom Oracle. I wish I remember who said this, but someone in there, oh, it was definitely, why can I never remember their username? Tara from, I know it's like cozy, darn, we're gonna figure it out, because I can't let things go without knowing I'm right. Cozy Corecraft, Tara from Cozy Corecraft, showed this in her spooky deck collection, saying that these figures just looked so ghostly to her, and it made me pull it out and be like, yeah, that is so correct. So the card I pulled is also like extra ghostly looking, I felt, which was cool. But sorry, the lighting, I tell you. The sun was only rising today at 7:10. Doesn't that seem crazy? It seems crazy. But I got the centering card, which was really interesting in terms of like something I haven't laid to rest, being centering. And what it brought up was just the whole idea I've been kind of wrapping my brain around lately of usual grounding techniques. Like I feel like grounding techniques that we just see talked about a lot, or that kind of work for other people, don't really work. I'm going to generalize here, so apologies if this is an overgeneralization, but I feel like don't tend to work for the neurodivergent brain. Maybe I shouldn't overgeneralize. I'm gonna say it doesn't work for me, that's for certain, but I've got a feeling that could be the case. Because a lot of grounding techniques I see is a lot with like visualization, meditating, and like I cannot do either of those things. One, sitting still. Two, I don't bring up images in my brain on my own well, so like I can't, I guess, well, I suppose you could do a visualization of like using just images you've seen before, but like I can't create my own images in my head, if that makes sense. I don't know. So it was a cool exploration of that though, of like, okay, so this, and what I haven't laid to rest was basically, one, not accepting that, and two, really kind of beating myself up over that, of like feeling like this insane, ungrounded person, just because I wasn't accepting like, hey, maybe this just doesn't work for you, but doesn't mean that like there isn't something that would. And the tarot I paired with it that I just made a bag for, because the tuck box truly fell apart. All fault of my own. The Ghosts and Spirits, which, look at how cute! This ghost completely matches the vibe of the backs of this deck, which I know a lot of people don't like, and I get it. It doesn't match, it does not match the front, but I can't, I love it. I really do. I love these backs. I wouldn't complain if like they came out with new backs that more match the fronts. I think that'd be awesome, but in the meantime, I love the backs. I think they're great. So the bag is to match that. But I really love this deck. I got this one last spooky season. And I did use it quite a bit last year, but I feel like, I don't know, it didn't quite click for some reason last year, but this year, so it's all mixed around because I did drop it. That was my reason for making the bag, is because I held the box just a little bit wrong and they all fell out. So, you know. But yes, this was the perfect pairing with this. I also loved, because the monthly medicine this month is very story driven, and these cards are also story driven, so that was really a fun combination, to the point where I feel like I kind of want to use those again this week. I haven't looked to see what the topic is. Don Michelle said try your best not to read ahead, so I'm not doing it. I'm being good. So I don't know what the topic is this week, but if it fits, and I imagine it will, I want to use this one again, because I don't know, I really enjoyed it last week, so that was a good one. And that's all I got. Today is Monday, so I gotta start my next week. I get so excited on Mondays, one, because I work from home, so I get to kind of just have a slower moving day, kind of take my time with things, because I tend to get all my work done within a spurt of like an hour or two. I can't help it. But it's nice, because then I'm like, ooh, okay, now the rest of the day I can like do this kind of thing, which is nice. But yeah, that's all I got for now. I'll see you in the next thing, whatever that is. Exciting. Hello. I'm here with the last bit of this month's monthly medicine, and maybe, I don't know, got a few other things to talk about today, but I don't think I'm not ready to do that yet, because today is October 30th, so I'm going to talk about my other favorites today, but not yet. Anyways, so last week our theme was mourning flowers. So the whole premise was we came across this patch of flowers in the graveyard, and the questions were kind of themed around things that were growing. And so for my main oracle card, I used the Magickal Botanical, and I got Dandelion. So my whole thing for the week, based on this card, was examining how perhaps I occasionally get into a mode of just getting bogged down in things that don't bring me joy, so that I am not spending time on the things that do. I'm in my spooky jammies today, and I probably still will be by the time I fill the other part, because I don't have anything to do today. Besides just my stuff I do for work, but Mondays we work from home, so I went grocery shopping yesterday. I really have nothing to do today, so I will stay in my spooky jammies. Anyways, the deck I paired with Magickal Botanical, which, oh my gosh, what a discovery of a pairing. I did the Hush Tarot, and just like, look at these two together. Isn't that so good? And I really loved using this deck for the idea of like growth and decay, because I feel like that's really what is shown in this deck. And gosh, every time I bring this one out, I just remember why I love it so much. The guidebook is so good. Everything these cards have to say, I'm always blown away. So that was a really good week this week, kind of examining again, like just releasing things that I'm giving energy to that do not bring me joy, like unnecessarily so. And so today is our final poll of the month, because it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday we have prompts, so this is the last one of those. And we were told to bring out the card we had for the spirit we've been kind of along this journey with, and so for me that was the Beauty Medusa card from the Embroidered Graveyard. And then we also could either bring out a personal significator or pull a card to represent ourselves, and so I chose to pull a card from Embroidered Graveyard, and I got Grandma, which made me laugh when I pulled it this morning, because, like, yeah, I'm feeling like a grandma. I mean, I always internally feel like 80 years old, like, inwardly, emotionally, I guess, but it's just kind of funny, because this whole weekend, we had a very slow weekend, which was very nice. Watched a lot of Halloween movies, just relaxed, loved it. Well, I had to work on Saturday because we had a Halloween party for the kids, but other than that, and it's just funny because on just my, like, scrolling on social media, and I have a twin sister, so watching her, like, all the other people not all the other, but a lot of other people my age, like, going out to Halloween parties, and, like, you know, dressing in costume and going to bars and stuff, just was, and that's not what I want to be doing. I don't want to do that, but it just was a moment of reflection of, like, man, like, even though these people are the same age, I feel old, comparatively, you know? Anyway, doesn't matter. So we put these, it was a really cool spread. We had these on, like, either side of the table, and then you pulled 3 cards in the center, and I brought out Madame Lydia again, which, gosh, I love this pairing too. Like, let me see if I can hold these all up at once. It really was, like, a cool pairing. Don't these look neat together? I just loved it. It was so good. And so, it was just kind of exploring, like, how we are like. It was a cool, like, full circle where it was like, okay, how are we like this spirit that is leading us around? Like, what we learned, and just sort of, like, what we're taking away. And it was a really cool way to wrap up the month and just bring everything together. So really enjoyed that. I always, whenever Dawn Michelle does these story-driven monthly medicines, I always get this, like, weird sadness when the month comes to the end, because I'm like, I'm, like, attached to these characters now that we've built. I'm like, now we're, like, leaving them. But next month is so fun. I can't wait to get into it. I think I'm already gonna start since I'm done with my pages for this monthly medicine, which maybe I should show. I'm really getting into I got scrapbook paper and a double-sided tape, like, gun thing. I guess I could show it. What would you call this? It's like one of these, like, it looks like one of those whiteout dispensers, but it's double-sided tape. So I've been able to use the scrapbook paper I bought to be, like, video backgrounds. I am now using for its intended purpose. And putting, like, scrapbook paper in, it's so fun. I just love how it's looking. So I'm having clearly lots of fun in the journaling department. I mean, I like what I was doing before too, but just adding in that paper, like, come on, that's so good. I love what I did here with, like, the double paper. So anyway, that's that. I feel like I had something else. Oh. I realized, I don't think I ever talked about that I'm doing the Drop 'em 78 challenge through Mindful Tarot. Maybe I have. I don't think on this, though. I realized this morning, well, okay, hold on. Slow my roll. So I am doing Terra Volatile as my main deck. I'm so excited about this, and I've been getting so much out of it already. So this started October 15th. Basically, you go through, it's a card a day through the end of the year. So we are officially through the Pentacle suit, and yesterday started on Wands. So that's where we are now. So this is my study deck, because I also got... Oh, I just whacked myself in the face. Ow. big book. The big book to go with it. And I resisted this. I don't know why, but I really did. I think because it's a pricey book. She is a pricey gal. But, man, does she feel, like, necessary now. Especially as someone, because I wasn't really connecting with this deck, but I just knew the potential was there. You know when you have that feeling? And now that I've got this big book, and I'm doing this practice with it, yes, it's coming together. So I'm really excited. I haven't used the deck for readings, and I kind of think I'm not going to until I've gone through every card in this way, because I'm having so much fun. And so part of the challenge is you pick a calibration deck, and this is where I realize I think I'm doing it wrong. And this is just what I get for watching Mindful Tarot's intro video about like what the challenge is too early. Like, I should have just watched it right before we started, and I didn't. Anyway, but my calibration deck is the Northern Animal because I know it so well. It's a constant for me. Oh, and I've got the new linen edition. Oh my gosh, so good. So that's what I'm using as my calibration. And I was watching Green-Eyed Tarot's video this morning about she was showing like her reflections on the Pentacle suit, since we're done with that suit completely now. And I thought that the point of the calibration deck was to kind of like have this deck you know really well and a deck you don't, so that way you pull out, like for the Ace of Pentacles, I pulled out the Ace of Pentacles from both decks, and I thought the purpose was like to compare them, but then I was seeing a bunch of people posting on Instagram where it was like, it was the Ace of Pentacles from the study deck, and then it was like some other card with it, and I was getting so confused, and of course me being like constantly thinking I knowing what I'm doing, I was like, oh my gosh, like what are these people doing? Like, they're doing it wrong. And then I was watching that video this morning and just proof that life is constantly humbling to me. I realized the reason because she was showing how like you pull out the card from the study deck and then you like shuffle and draw a card from your calibration deck as a way to like bring in a separate card to like add layers to your understanding. And I get it now. Now it makes so much sense. I don't know how I could have been convinced that everything I was seeing other people doing could have possibly been wrong and not me. Every once in a while I do that. Usually I know myself better, where I am horrible at paying attention to details. Anyway, so now I'm kind of like, do I change what I'm doing? But I don't think I am. I think I'm just gonna... I'm in too deep now. We've already done a whole suit. And I'm kind of liking the way I'm doing it, because I'm not using it as a daily draw, because that would never in a million years work for me, because I need constant change. So my morning polls are really where I get that variation, and so using the same two decks, I can't use it as my morning poll. So instead, I'm doing my usual morning poll, and then this to me feels more like an activity. And I do kind of like how it's, I really like how it's working, because before I figured it out, I was enjoying myself. So I think I'm just gonna, ignorance is bliss. I'm just gonna continue doing it that way. But maybe that's to say, like, if you are not enjoying the aspect of making it like a daily poll, try this. It's just like a separate study almost, but it's quick. It's quick in the morning because it's just one card. Yeah, I'm really enjoying this because there's also a lot of alternative cards. I have the expansion pack, so when I come up to cards that have the alternative cards, it's also like rebuilding the deck based on like really knowing what the purpose behind each card is. I'm getting deja vu. I think I've just said that in another video. I don't think I said that in this, so we're just gonna keep rolling. But okay, I think that's all I have for now. I'm gonna go through my journal, see what I used a bunch this month. I'm gonna pull out my favorite stuff, and maybe I'm just gonna do that now. I'm just gonna do that now. I think that sounds good. Alright, I'll be right back. I'm back. Okay, so I want to start out with just some reflections on my spread here, which, as you can see, I've not filled in anything with Vulture, and I think that's just because I haven't done too many specific readings. I think it's more just been like a mental reflection this month. Like, it just feels... It was a really good month having Vulture as our animal gnosis. And it's an energy I really want to continue examining. I think it was just I didn't fill this in because it just feels like such a big energy that I want to continue spending some time with. It felt like an undercurrent this whole month of this idea of like things coming to an end, but also the idea of perception, and which is interesting because my card of the month was Glass from the Wild Unknown Alchemy, and the themes around this are kind of perception and how am I seeing the world, like what. And when I think of glass being something that you can see through, but it is this lens and barrier, so it kind of brought things up of like what lens am I putting on things, and that's been a really interesting energy this month, and I feel like it really combined with that Vulture animal gnosis a lot. Just seeing that vultures usually are a animal people don't like or fear, yet they play such an important role in our ecosystem in the breaking down of things and just symbols of finality, and is an interesting month, and a huge theme has been the idea of perception in many different ways. As I was talking about with my monthly medicine, a big theme being like how I perceive myself, but also how I put a lens on the world of, am I actively seeking joy or not, really? And that came up time and time again this month, the idea of like, am I making time for the things that bring me joy? And if I'm not, it's kind of, at least, I'm not generalizing here, I am truly talking about me, like, it's because I'm making the choice not to see it that way. But also perceptions about myself and needing to bring certain perceptions to a close, to an end, which is scary. Yeah, I feel like I talk about neurodivergence a lot, but that's just because it's such a... It is me, and it's something I'm really learning a lot about, and as I uncover more and more, it's like everything I discover is this double-edged sword of like being so excited to finally understand this certain thing about myself, but on the other hand, it's like, well, now I need to let go of the idea I had before. And it's like, feels like this like persistent thing of like learning something new, having to let go, and sometimes it just feels like it gets like, it's moving so fast that it gets backed up. And so I feel like this month it kind of came to a head of like, I need to really examine the ways I have perceived myself and the way I'm in some ways that I still was that weren't fair or can now be explained by some aspect of neurodivergence that I still wasn't allowing myself to have, if that makes sense. So really my nose is itchy, so sorry. I've spent a lot of time outside planting my fall bulbs and the allergies, I tell you. Anyway, but then the other thing too with the idea of perception, thinking, and like this layer of neurodivergence is a big thing I learned this month, is the discomfort I feel around being perceived. Which sounds kooky. It sounds really kooky. But that felt like a real monumental shift, because it explains so much. Where things that I thought were anxiety are not. There's no fear around certain things. It's just that it's a discomfort around being perceived. So, like, for example, it's when I am by myself, completely by myself, it's like I exist, I create this little bubble around myself where I feel like I can fully relax and do the things that bring me joy. And it doesn't matter who then enters the space. It can be someone who knows everything about me. It doesn't matter. As soon as someone else enters the space and I'm not alone anymore, it feels like that bubble is popped. And it's like everything comes to a halt. It's very interesting. So like if I'm, say for example, I'm by myself and I'm doing a reading, I could be halfway through that reading. If someone like comes into the space and my bubble gets popped in that way, returning to that reading is nearly impossible for me. And that's something I used to really like get upset with myself about. But it's like now that I'm learning this angle of like, it is a thing that there's a discomfort around perception. It's another layer of like, okay, now I know this, it explains a lot, so now I need to work on that Vulture end of it, of like letting it go, learning, and also learning to accept that part of me. So, that's that on that. Shall we get into the favorites? I've got two book favorites for the month. Yeah, I don't think... Well, the Tarot Volatile guidebook is a favorite. I don't want to pick it up again. I just showed it, so that. But then I also got in this month the new book from Claire Goodchild, the Book of Ancestors, and I have been so thoroughly enjoying this. I'm not fully through it, mostly because I wanted to save some of the book to go through for November, because I tend to really lean into ancestral energy in November. That's just when it makes sense in my little brain, but can't recommend enough. I think this is good for anyone. I wouldn't like call myself a beginner at ancestor work, but I think if you are a beginner, this is great. If you're not, I think it's great. That's what I gotta say. Yeah. And then my other favorite, look at this. Oh my gosh. This is The Natural History of Fairies by Emily Hawkins, but it is illustrated by Jessica Rue. Now there's a whole series of these books. Oh, if I could just think about what the series is called. I can't quite remember, but there's a whole series of these books, and I'm pretty sure they're all different authors, but Jessica Rue illustrates all of them, and they are these gorgeous, huge books that like, can I show? So basically, this one being The Natural History of Fairies, each one it's like you are being given the diary of this researcher, and these are like their field notes and things that they've learned all about fairies. So it is a children's book, but I think it is just enjoyable for everyone. Me and the woman who works the circulation desk when I'm there most of the time, we love this whole series of books, and our copy at the library of this one in particular is so beat up, so well loved, and I look at these every chance I get, and I don't know, I felt guilty for some reason getting one for myself, but finally I was like, no, I want to own these, and so I don't have, this is the only one I have right now. I wanted to just start with one, and I will slowly get the other ones that I really like, but of course I had to start with the fairies because this is my absolute favorite, and I think anyone who has a fairy practice, I think you could really benefit from this, because it is like, it does draw good information from like different cultures and the folklore around them, so it's not to say that it's like, it depends how you want to see it, you know? I don't see this as fictional because I have a practice around fairies that is based in like different cultural stories and folklore, so to me this is fact. You know what I mean? So it's just, it's really a lot of great information. There is, the next one I want to get is the history of magic, which I have magic and magical beasts checked out in my work bag right now. Should I go get them? I'm gonna go get them. Hold on. I'm just gonna show. Okay, so these are the library I work for's copies, and these are not beat up at all because they are like, one of them is new. It just came out in October, and the other we didn't have. So it's not like super new. When do we think this came out? These are the weird things that matter to me. Okay, I'm not gonna get my answer right now, but we didn't have it, and so we needed it, so I just bought it. So these have not, I don't think these have been in the hands of a child yet, because I selfishly checked them out. But I'm bringing them back. I'm bringing them back tomorrow, okay? I wanted to bring them home to see, like, which ones do I want, you know? But these are my 3 favorites. There's also a mermaid one. Maybe that's it right now. There is a mermaid one, though. That is cool. But anyway, so the latest one is A Natural History of Magical Beasts, and this goes through all sorts of like cryptids and magical beings from around the world. It's so awesome. But the one that I definitely want to buy, I think this one is cool, and I probably will get it eventually, but I don't feel as pressed to get this one because the magical being that I work with is fairies, and I've got the fairies, so but the one I'm super excited about is A Natural History of Magic. Oh my gosh, it's so gorgeous. It goes through, and look at the inside covers. Oh my gosh, they are gorgeous books. Like, they feel like such a treasure. So we've got like histories of magic from around the world, different types of magic, so it goes through like divination, cartomancy, astrology, numerology, charms, alchemy, potions. We got sources of magic, plants, trees, familiars, ley lines, magical days. Ugh, it's so good. It's so good. They just feel really immersive and magical, and they make me so happy. So this is the next one I'm gonna get, but I had to show, and look at how they look together. Hold on. Sorry. One more, we're doing one more look and then I'm done geeking out. Like, imagine this on a shelf. Oh, it's so fun. It really is so fun. Okay, so those are my book favorites from the month. Now, let's look at some, like, most of my deck favorites from the month are my spooky season decks, so I picked out the ones that I really kind of used the most and was most excited about this October, this go-around. But it might seem a little repetitive for my spooky season decks, but that's what I used. But I wanted to talk about, excuse me, that was a burp, 2 other decks that I would not label as spooky season decks. that I used this month that I really enjoyed. The first being the Sacred Threads Oracle by our very own Dawn Michelle. I have the pocket version, just because, I don't know, I've been really into pocket oracles lately. And I am really glad I got this copy, because I don't know, there's something about this deck that to me, it really works. And I really like bringing this one to work to pull my kind of transitional card to get into work. I don't know, something I really love about it. But I've been really, really enjoying this deck this month. I also have the guidebook you can buy off Amazon. Really enjoying that as well. I really kind of want to, because it's a cool guidebook where there is a space for like journaling basically, and there's journal prompts. So I haven't played around with that yet, since most of my play since I've gotten it this month is at work. But I really want to, and perhaps that is something to do in November, is do some readings where like this deck is the main focal point, so I can kind of start filling in that journal section and using those prompts, because from first glance they're really, really good. And I'm excited about this deck. How I have liked pairing it otherwise when I have used it at home is with the Mysteries of the Black Madonna. The readings I have got using these two together have just been so good. It just feels like, I mean, this being the Sacred Threads Oracle, it feels like I pulled what is a very divinely based card with the Black Madonna, and this deck feels like the thread that connects me to her, you know? It's so good. So this has definitely been a favorite this month, and I can't wait again to really get into it more this month with that guidebook. So then my other favorite is this card deck right here, which was gifted to me by a very kind subscriber. This is the Uusi Playing Cards. Pagan by Uusi? I don't know if that's what it's called, but it's their playing cards. And it's gorgeous. I mean, it's on this like beautiful linen cardstock. These are the backs. And I am part of Danny Mystic's Mystic Fam, and something she has been doing is teaching us her way of reading with playing cards. And so I've been going through those this month, what's up, you know, currently, and just really, really enjoying it, and really enjoying starting to play with playing cards and see how I like reading with them. And I have a very specific way I've been using this deck in particular, because I do have some other playing card decks I really like, but this one I've been using for ancestor readings that I've been doing this month, and using playing cards in a very particular way with those. And ooh, oh my gosh, am I leaving you on the edge of your seat? I'm planning on doing a video that will probably go up very early November about the ancestor readings I've been doing and like my method for that, which will involve these. So I will tell you more there, because I don't think I would explain it verbally well. I'm gonna show. But that I've been really enjoying this month. So, playing cards. Now let's get into my decks I've been using. Let's start with tarot. First, Ghosts and Spirits, which, oh my gosh, the little bag. Can we talk about it? Yes. Finally made a bag, because my tuck box, like, fell apart. It wouldn't stay together anymore. So, even though I love a tuck box, I really do, I love when they get really beat up, but not to the point where I pick the deck up and it all like falls out the bottom. So usually that's the point where a bag gets made, or if I just have I feel inspired. But anyway, besides the point, I've really been loving this deck this month. It came out for Monthly Medicine a bunch. I pulled it out a lot for my readings with Andy in the morning. I don't think I actually used it for my own morning pulls a lot, but gosh, do I love this deck. And I am kind of thinking it's gonna stay out for November. Ooh, I don't know. I gotta do like a kind of a deck switch around because I do have a lot of spooky season decks that I really only use in October. So I gotta switch some stuff out. I think I'll show that in my next monthly wrap-up type thing. But yeah, I really was excited about this deck this month. So Ghosts and Spirits. Tarot. It just occurred to me that if I'm listing my decks down below, I really actually have to remember what I used. I guess, well, it's a good thing I journal, huh? Because I can look at my, like, monthly medicine journal. Eek! Oh, and also to say, that the links down below, if it is an Amazon link, it is now an affiliate link, which I'm sure you've heard that spiel from other channels who do it, but just to say that it does not affect the price of the deck for you, it just kind of helps me out a little bit if you use those links, but like, use them or don't use them, they're there, just so you know, for transparency. Anyway, next, Tarot Vampyres. This is a repurchase. Yeah, I know. But I don't regret this repurchase. I think this one needed to leave and come back. But I edged it in red. Slay. Thoroughly enjoying this month. It's like, this one, like I said, it needed to leave and come back. I was not in a place for this deck last year. I wasn't. But the way I have loved using this month, oh my gosh. And this one, I definitely plan on keeping out for the entirety of the darker half of the year because, I don't know, it doesn't feel like it needs to be specifically an October deck for me. I have a feeling this one, it'll like come out to play in October and then just, again, stay out throughout the rest of the fall and winter, but we shall see. But I've been really liking this one. I think it is great. So Tarot Vampyres. Alright, one I always love. Nightmare Before Christmas Tarot. I love this movie. I've already watched it twice, and I will probably watch it again today. Because I can't help it. But I think this deck is so awesome. I think it's fantastic. I love reading with it. I've used it a bunch this month for my daily readings. I love playing with it while I watch the movie. I just think it is so great. And personally, I think it's well done. I do. I really do. I really like the pips in it. I have no complaints. I really have no complaints. It makes me so happy. I love when October rolls around because this is the first deck I think about when October is approaching. I'm like, oh my gosh, Nightmare Before Christmas is coming out. Hooray! Such a favorite. Nightmare Before Christmas. Okay, my last tarot favorite is a new one to me this month, and it is the Orphans of Dudley Town Major Arcana, and this is really my first time using a Major Arcana deck, and I have to say, I really liked it. I really liked it. I don't think I would like it for, like, I don't think I would just want to get, like, any Major Arcana deck, but one that is themed towards a certain fun thing. Like, this one being geared towards Halloween. So much fun. I really, really enjoyed using it. I used it kind of like an oracle deck. I just think this artwork is fantastic. It really hits the Halloween mood in just the right way. It went with all my spooky decks. I think it's great. So again, I don't think I just would want to get any old Major Arcana, but one that is really, like, themed in a certain way. I used it. I really used it quite a bit. And I'm gonna use it tomorrow on Halloween for sure. I really, really love this one. But yeah, I actually did back another Major Arcana on Kickstarter. It is a Major Arcana of the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. One of my favorite cartoons growing up. So that was also like just a fandom thing, but yeah, really enjoyed it. So I'm getting tired. And all of these oracle decks are like really obvious. So I think I'm just gonna show them and not pull out the cards. So sorry. But I did do a video on all my spooky season decks, so if you're curious of what they look like on the inside of the box, you can view that. Yeah, because none of these are all spooky season decks for me. So the first one, we've got the Witch's Familiars. Love this one. This one's gonna stay out for sure, along with the Les Vampyres. Oh my gosh, I've been loving this one, but this one I think will stay out. These two feel very October specific to me. The first being the Halloween Oracle, which I think I use this almost every day this month, and I love this one to the point where I'm like, man, do I wish I did use it outside of October. And I have like tried to just leave it out before, but my brain sees Halloween and I'm like, no, Halloween's over, can't do it. So, but I love this one, so I really make the most of it in October. I love this deck. And last but not least, Seasons of the Witch Samhain, a classic. This one might stay out though. I don't know. I might continue, I'm gonna have to see if I want to continue using this, or I almost feel inclined to pull out Seasons of the Witch Mabon for November, because I feel like that harvest energy comes out again in November for some, just like that feeling. But this one feels a bit more geared towards ancestor work, so I might bring them both out until it feels time to pull out the Yule Oracle. But I'm also gonna get the In Bulk, which is coming out like next week, I wanna say. So I don't know what I'm gonna feel like using, but I do love this one. So that is my last favorite deck and my last thing to show you, I think, for this month. Yeah. So I hope you all had a fantastic month. I would love to know what favorite things you were using, favorite things you did for this spooky season. A great time of year. But other than that, I'll see you again very soon.